Hello there, Rhinohorn125, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Nathan Drake Ultimate Edition NECA action figure from Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. And I don't really do any video game things on my channel at all, and I'm not like a big, huge gamer, but I do enjoy games, especially story-driven, one-player games such as Uncharted, and specifically Uncharted 4 is definitely one of my favorite video games of all time that I have played, as well as The Last of Us and the Mad Max video game. But enough about games and stuff. Let's get to this figure. So the outside, just pretty much, this is the cover for Uncharted 4 and PS4, and on the side here, Uncharted 4 A Thief's End, and you get a little picture of the action figure there. Looks like he is just jumping through the air, and has like his fist up, you know, like he's gonna punch, or he is punching right now. You know what, he might be standing on the ground, maybe that's what, but whatever. Then says the same thing on this side. In the picture, get over here, is him with his grappling hook, I guess. It's not really a grappling hook, but don't really know why. Yeah, that's more of a Batman thing to call it grappling hook, but at the moment I cannot really think of exactly what the actual word is for that, but here is the back of this, so just put this up a little bit. And every treasure has its price. Thrown back into the dangerous underworld he tried to leave behind, Nathan Drake must decide that he's willing to sacrifice to save the ones he loves. And there's some of the information about the figure: 30 points of articulation, interchangeable heads, unique expressions, 2 pairs of interchangeable hands, and shows what he has. A closed climbing hook. Oh, it's just a climbing hook, okay. Well, there we go. Sculpted rope. Let's actually see, because, you know, when I get out of the package, I guess it kind of is. Oh, okay, I see what they're talking about. But anyway, and AK with strap and pistol. So yeah, and this is a definite type of box that I would be keeping. So yeah, and just based on the back, this figure does look like it does have a pretty good sculpt. But when you open it up, get a picture of the figure right there, and then here he is in the box, which I would say it does have an okay likeness to Nolan North. Not like perfect, but, you know, good enough. Like, no complaints there at all. And there you can see all the things he comes with and him in the box. But, and then, you know, the background's map, and then this is just Velcro to hook on there. So, a nice box to keep, definitely. So, alright, so let's get this figure opened and get to the review. Alright, so here is Nathan Drake out of the box, and so far I am liking what I see. Out of the box, I would like to just point out real quick, of the only complaint I would say is this. It looks nice, like the way they've done it, but it's a little too gold for me, and I may or may not change it out with a string that is darker brown, about like that or something. But other than the goldness, it does look like a nice rope, and I'm sure, you know, it fits in this hand pretty well. But I guess I will see later in the video. But that is one thing right out of the box that I noticed, and actually in the box you can see it in there. That is a little bit of a noticeable thing, that it's like a golden rope. But not too big of a complaint, not really. It's an easy fix, but, you know, if if I decide it bothers me that much, I will just easily change it out. But anyway, let's get to the accessories, and while I'm at this, minus the rope, the hook here, if I can get this to focus, looks pretty good. It just has, you know, some paint wash on it. It's all scraped up, a little bit of a rust look here, a metallic look. You can see little screws in there, and this little, you know, screw up here. And, you know, it doesn't close, but, which is kind of a good thing, because you already have a closed one here. It's all closed up, and it actually kind of moves on there, and you can hook this on his belt, which I will show later on. But this also looks pretty good. Looks pretty much the same as that. But I wish they would have went for a darker color, about like that, on the rope. But maybe this is all they could find. They're just like, they needed a rope, so they just, like, you know, that's what they had. But, you know, not too big of a deal. Here this is. That looks pretty nice. Here's his other two hands. He comes with a trigger finger, or gun holding hand. That hand looks pretty nice. And then here is the rope holding hand, I'd say, or if you have a sword, I guess you could fit a sword in here, or a lightsaber, maybe, if you opened his hand up a little bit more, but, you know, it's actually for the rope. But I would say it'd work. One thing I would say right away is having him hold this. I can't really see this working too much for that. I mean, just, you know, doing this. I mean, like I said, you can't open the hand, but that is very difficult to do, especially with the NECA. And it doesn't really look like that's easy to, like, put in there. But, I mean, I can make it work somehow, so that is one other thing. But, the AK-47 looks pretty nice. I like this, the way they have it hanging down here. And you can't take this off, but I guess if you wanted to, I mean, it would be off for good. Like, there's no way to put it back on unless you glue it. But, you know, I'm not going to do that, so here it is. Nice, you know, details they have in there. This magazine does not come out, which, again, is another good thing, because, you know, that's just a small piece that you would lose, and unless it's for a picture, there's really no point of having that be able to come out. But, you know, pretty nice AK. And then here is his handgun. This is, you know, pretty standard looking, not too much detail. It's got a nice shine to it. They didn't just go all black and stuff, and it's got black in there, and black handle, and then this thing is a dark metallic gray. So that gun does look pretty nice, and I will see how good it fits in this hand. Well, it looks kind of difficult to get in there, but I'll definitely put it in there later. Alright, so his next accessory is, actually, he had this head on him in the package, but I put his kind of calm face, heroic face, I guess I'd call it, on him instead of this angry face. So I'll show this. He's got a cut up there that looks pretty good, and he's got his styled hair, as always. A little bit of dirt that they put in there made it look kind of dirty. And then, you know, face looks very nice. They did a great job on it and stuff, and I don't know what that is, kind of just like a mess up in the paint, but not too big of a problem. Yeah, so. And they even stuck with the font used for Uncharted when they put the 2 in there. So, yeah. Alright, so that looks pretty nice, and I will show all these things, him holding them, and how they go on and stuff. But right now, I'm going to do articulation. Alright, so first things first, his arm can fully rotate back, arm go up that much, can swivel all the way around at the bicep, goes down that much, bends at the elbow that much there, can also swivel at the elbow a little bit, swivels at the wrist as well as goes up and down at the wrist. One thing I would say that I've noticed is the paint seems a little locked up, and like I've said in other reviews, if that happens with any figure where you feel like it's a little locked up, do not try it too hard or you will end up breaking or snapping something off. So just put him in warm water, which I may or may not have to do, but I guess I will see. Other arm is exactly the same. Does have a watch on here, but that does not affect the articulation at all. So, yeah, he has a little bit of an ab crunch, a little bit of voice swivel, legs go forward that much, go back that much, which can get him in a pretty good running pose. He has double jointed knees, which is very nice that they added that in there. I love the way they did the knees on here. And most NECA figures, when they do jeans, they tend to like make them, some of the legs, like, you know, where they're trying too hard to make it look not too obvious that it can bend, which doesn't really work, especially if you're trying to make an action figure. Like the Rambo, I'm not sure which Rambo it is, but it's the one with the jeans and then he has the tank top. That didn't really work because you could only really get him to stand in a position that looks okay without it looking awkward because of the way the pants are and the way his legs are bent. So I'm glad they went with this, but a little bit of a ankle pivot, and his foot goes back that much and up that much. Yeah, so, oh, also his head, he can look up a tiny bit and look down a little bit, but you can also make him look down a little bit more by putting his, like, bending the ab crunch that he has there. And then you can swivel the head all the way around, but you may scuff the paint because of the chin there, because he's got that, you know, back muscle, you know, that he has gained throughout his years of climbing rocks for 4 games and things that happened before. They also have a scar right here, which I'm not quite sure if I've never really noticed that he had a scar in the movie. Well, I mean, game, but, you know, might as well be a movie, my opinion. But, yeah, that looks like it's supposed to be sculpted on there, so that does not look like a paint chip or, you know, sculpt mess up or anything, but I would definitely check that out for myself. Alright, so next I'm going to do size comparison. Actually, I decided before I do size comparison I was going to show how he can hold the gun. And he does hold it pretty well in that, but this hand is much too thin for him to be able to hold right there. So I think what they were going for with this was to be able to just have him in the pose of holding it downward, or maybe just like one-handed, or just like in a pose of him running with it, which is an actual like thing that he does in the game, especially when you jump over something. So it doesn't really work two-handed. There was a way to get it to work like how I had it, like with the fist. You can get it at an angle and just have him like that, or, you know, something, or have him like this here, or something like that. But not too big of a problem there. So I am now going to attempt to get this handgun in here. So, well, alright, so I guess that went in pretty good. So there's a handgun, and that it also looks, you know, a lot better. Right there, you know, it works because you don't have to have him put his hand on any other part of the gun. So, yeah, that looks pretty nice. So you want to make him do that. But, yeah, so holds that pretty well. And how to take the hand out here is it's pretty simple. You know, just like any other, you just kind of twist and pull slowly, and then you can get it out, and then you can put the other hand in. And I would not do that, especially with NECA, like an abundance of times. And the paint, actually, mine wasn't locked up at all. It was just the way that I didn't take it out, but now it's fine. So, but also, still, be very cautious of stuff like that. But this hand here, I guess while I'm videoing, I will show how he holds the grappling hook, and then I will put the other grappling hook on, and then I'll get to size comparison. Alright, so there he is holding the grappling hook, which I think looks pretty good, and the trigger finger really works with the handle, the way he's holding it, just kind of like that, you know. So it actually, yeah, works pretty good. And this rope, again, like I said, a little too shiny, but it does work very nicely, and I'm sure you can maybe, even if you wanted to, I'm not quite sure, but maybe I'll try it. I don't know how that would hold, but maybe actually hook it up on something, just off a ledge, and see if he can just dangle from it. But I would probably request that, you know, there would be a better rope, but I'm not sure. Seems pretty well tight on there. And if I did get a better rope, I don't know how I would tie that. I'm not very good tying small knots, or knots at all, to be honest, unless it's like tying a shoe. So, yeah, so if I do decide to do that, it might be a little bit of a struggle, but I will get it done. I guess while doing this, I will quickly just get this out of his hand here, which isn't too hard, and then obviously that just slipped right through. And I'm going to see where this hooks on the belt. Looks like it's right there. So I haven't tried this yet, so hopefully it doesn't, take forever. So let's see how that goes in there real quick. Alright. It's kind of like one of those things where it wants to go in, and they have it kind of rubbery a little bit, so it doesn't go in that well. But yeah, I guess it would take a little bit of time to get this in, but I could definitely get it in if I tried hard enough, which I will do in a little bit. But right now, just before I get to size comparison, I will take the head off there, show you, just how you do that, and there we go. There is his angry head, which is a good, face to have, especially with the gun, and this is probably more of the face to have if you're having him, swing the hook, or, punching, or actually punching would, this would be a good face for that too, but I guess it just depends on whatever you want to do. But yeah, I'll definitely try to put that in there. And what they have it more of like a soft plastic right here. You can see how that kind of pushes a little bit. And then so is this. It's not like really, well, this is kind of sturdy. Actually, yeah, see, kind of bends down a little bit. So that's why I'm having an issue getting it in. And this gun actually does fit in there. So there we go. But let's get to size comparison before I spend too much time on this other stuff. Alright, so first off, here he is next to a standard size NECA. So that is, pretty good size, I'd say. And then here he's next to Ash, which is also a good size. And they actually have NECA figures to their, actual sizes, considering Bruce Campbell is 6 foot, and Arnold is, 6'3". So, I mean, he was so he's probably like 6'1" then, I guess, if we're going by that. And then, just get old Jason in here real quick, and he is 6'4". So, yeah, there we go. I think that's pretty good, and NECA figures are always good at, keeping their figures, within the range of each other. Some of them can seem a little big, like when I first got my Xenomorph alien, I thought it was a little big, but then I don't know why, but it's not. Aliens are like that, they're pretty big, and like 7 foot tall, so I guess I didn't realize that at the time, but I thought he was big. But there he is compared to some other figures. I thought these were the best ones to pick, since, they just kind of range in size. But while I have them, that is the best I can get that in there. I tried, it's 2, so, you can just have it sitting there good enough to stay in as long as you don't bump it. And then also, you can have the gun just kind of hang off there if you wanted to. So, that's pretty nice. You could probably, if you took his head off, probably have it strapped around, but I think this is good enough here. So, yeah. Alright. Now I will get to the details on the figure. Alright, so first things first, to get to the head, which looks pretty nice, has the same injuries as the other head, obviously minus the angry kind of look there at the mouth open. But they did a great job on this, and an extra bonus, the hair does move. No really particular purpose, doesn't add or take away from the figure, just telling you. I mean, the hair just kind of moves there, but it doesn't, do anything bad, so that's good. But head does look nice, and here on the shirt, They got it all nice and dirtied up. This here, the holster and stuff, this strap here looks very nice. They did a great job on that. He's got his little pouch and his booklets in there, which you obviously you cannot take out, and you can't have his booklet, which would be kind of nice, I would think. It's just extra. Maybe have him have a hand kind of like this. You can just kind of place it in and maybe just use this hand here for, like, you know, pointing down at it. I think that would work. But, you know, it's alright. I'm okay with that. It's not a complaint. But the more they can add, you know, the better. So, there is more detail there, and there's that scratch that I talked about earlier. There's a belt, a little bit of mud right there, some dirt, more dirt on his pants and stuff, some scuffing, a little bit on the knee there. His boots, nice crinkles in the pants and stuff. And there's this watch, which looks real nice, you know, and it does not come off. If you take the hand off, it doesn't slide off, which I think is a good thing. And there's some more dirt and grime on his shirt there, and wrinkles and all that. So that pouch also looks, you know, pretty good. So I think overall they did a fantastic job on this figure, and I do highly recommend it. A while ago I was gonna get this figure, or thinking about like wanting it, but it was, you know, real expensive, and then it was out of stock. But just recently they re-released it or something, and it was like $24. So, you know, yeah, now I do have it, and, you know, I've been wanting it. When I did want it, that was a while ago, and that was actually before I even played the Uncharted series, so me getting it was just out of, you know, respect and wanting most of NECA's action figures, even if I really didn't know who they are, because I kind of knew who Nathan Drake was at the time, but I knew he was from a video game, but I didn't really know much. But now that I have played the entire series, I think it's fitting that I have the figure now, so that makes more sense. But, yep, I would say, all in all, only complaint is the way this fits in there, and then the color of the string. But I think the most major complaint is that this does not fit in there very well. Very, you know, difficult, and maybe there is a way that I'm missing that you can do it, but when you just stick it in there, it does stay in it. You know, looks alright, but it's too bad you can't just put in there and then not have to worry about dropping it, because if I just put it in there like this and then walked around the house or something, I'd probably end up dropping it, and if I didn't notice, it'd just be gone forever. So yeah, so be very careful of that. See, all you have to do when it's just sitting in there like that is just kind of touch it and it just falls right out. So I guess it's okay if you set it on a shelf, as long as you don't think it's going to fall and get lost, or definitely for a picture. But yeah, so that is it for this, and yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching. Bye. And like a wise man once said, crap. So, doesn't really pertain to anything. Nothing's crap about this figure. It's the complete opposite of that, but it's wise words from Nathan Drake. So, have a nice day. Bye.